Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all staying safe and well, and welcome to my film and TV channel. I hope you enjoy what I've got for you today, and please check out as you're watching this little links on screen as well for different things, so my Facebook and Twitter, and of course my football channel as well. And please, all your comments are very welcome. Just let us know and push that subscribe button. Don't forget, please push the subscribe button. Make sure your notifications set to public as well if you want to know when these vlogs are coming out. Push that notification button as well. So anyway, please enjoy. Today it's Professor T, a British crime drama. It does have its origins elsewhere. But 6 episodes, starring of course Ben Miller as the aforementioned Professor Jasper Tempest. He's got his mum involved in this, well, it's not his real mum obviously. Frances de la Tour as Adelaide, Emma Naomi as DS Lisa Donkers, there's her name, Donkers, and Dan Winters, Barney White as DC Dan Winters, adaptation, of course, from a Belgian TV series, which I believe is very, very good. I've not seen that. Of the same name, which was then remade in Germany. So it's that good. Even the Germans remade it. It began broadcasting on BritBox. I didn't watch it on BritBox. I've watched it fairly recently, but on 3rd of June 2021. So there's a few people out there would have seen this, and it's actually started weekly on ITV from the 18th of July 2021. What's it about? Well, Professor Jasper Tempest is a genius. Of course he is, and as most geniuses, he's got his idiosyncrasies, hasn't he? He's at Cambridge University. He's a criminologist with OCD and an overbearing mother. Well, she's all right. She's not. I don't think she's overbearing. Assists the police in solving crimes. Of course he does, even though he does everything by the book. And he could probably just take a textbook and do it. But hey, there you go. That wouldn't be a series then, would there? Where's the fun in that? The first episode of 6 had him investigating a serial rapist. That caused a little bit of consternation. I have no idea why. At the end of the day, it's a crime. I mean, there was no gratuitous scenes from what I can see, but a few people didn't like that. It put a lot of people off that very first episode, but no, I don't understand the real criticism. I mean, it is a crime. It's investigated, and sadly it does happen many times. Background to this little series, quirky series, let's call it. It did promise, this is the background, this is before I watched it, this is what I was reading through the various articles on the internet and in magazines, etc. A mix of serious crimes with fantasy Walter Mitty scenes with our genius OCD suffering flights of fancy detectives. So a bit quirky, obviously. Ironically, in this COVID world, as we have, some of this strange behaviour didn't seem that strange from the detective, and he seems, some of it seemed quite normal with things these days. Miller himself described his character as a cross between Dexter and Sherlock Holmes. Now, I did like the sound of that. I thought that was excellent. I thought if you give me a series crossing Sherlock with Dexter, I think I'll have that. I'll take that. I'll have that. Miller himself had problems in the role. He did apparently had to stop filming at times, as some of the emotional scenes did affect him in real life, and obviously, despite his on-screen calmness, if you like, or I don't care less attitude, he did have some reactions to some of the scenes he shot where he had to remain sort of po-faced, etc. So it's interesting that. I mean, he did actually struggle apparently from OCD at some stage and had to seek professional help. So he's put that experience obviously into his character. Right, the scores I'm going to give and the information is all correct as at the 22nd of July, 5 PM UK time. We've got 6 episodes. I'll just briefly run through a description of the episodes just to show you what we're getting for our buck, if you like. The Anatomy of a Memory was the first one. This is a serial rapist one. Actually, on Internet Movie Database, this is getting an average of 7.2 out of 10. So they're all scoring quite well. Diana Tyson, this is the subject matter of this one, was violently attacked on the university campus. DI Lisa Donkers suspects that the assault is very similar to one that occurred years before. Having been a previous student of Professor T, she thinks he can help. So it's all her trouble. It's all her fault. Poor old Lisa Donkers. The second one's called A Fish Called Walter. There you go. We can see where we're going with these sort of things. 7.6 out of 10. Poisoning at a reception. The police start to think that the real target is a civil servant who forged an environmental report who also was present at the reception. The third one's Tiger. That scores a massive 8.3 out of 10. A jeweller, and I probably agree actually with that, that is the best. I'm not going to say I agree with 8.3, but that is probably the better episode of the 6. A jeweller's run down the street during a hostage crisis. In his bag is a collection of very valuable diamonds, so obviously you don't have to, it's not rocket science, some are working out these plots and stories. All right, finding the perps might be a little bit harder, but even that's not too difficult. The police suspect there is more to it and visit his family. Of course they do. Well, they do get clues. Mother Love is 7.6. That's the next episode. An au pair comes home after an evening off to find her employer unconscious in the living room. His daughter has vanished. Another one, Sophie Knowles, that got an 8.7, a very high rating again. A Girl with Down Syndrome. This is probably obviously one of the things probably set the actor off for this one. Down syndrome claims she knows who murdered her mother, but she doesn't want to say who it is. She only trusts the professor. Well, you would do. It's very caring. Not. The Dutiful Child is the last episode in the series. A hit on prominent businessman during an official function. The shooter falls, but the intending victim is found dead anyway a few days later. So there you go. I mean, basic mix of crew. There's a couple of hostage things in there, which obviously, as I say, perhaps they've run out of ideas. I'm not too sure, but slight twists on, of course. And I give you those ratings. But if you look at the overall Internet Movie Database rating, with as I'm recording this, 527 reviews, it's scoring 6.9 out of 10, so that's not bad for a TV series. That's okay. And if that's 527, 434 have scored it 6 or more, so that's like 82% of the people watching liked it, gave it a positive 6+ rating, between 6 and 10 out of 10. Right, here we go. My little thoughts on this. I mean, I did a review quite recently. It may have appeared before this. I think it will appear before this, because I've actually put it out a couple of days ago. A review on Baptiste, where I'm not particularly a fan of the lead actor in Baptiste, but happily, I don't mind Mr. Miller. I think he's okay. Obviously, he's known for lots of things, but he's also well known as far as BBC are concerned for Murder in Paradise, where he played the DI certainly for a couple of seasons, I think, and he's certainly one of the best ones in my mind anyway. So he looks primed to do this OCD sort of role in this drama. So I did look forward to it, because I say I do like him. He's not the greatest actor, of course he's not, but I just think the role suited him to a T. The first episode is always very important, isn't it? Whether you think, oh, I can't wait to watch the next one of this, whether I'm going to binge watch it or not, I'll talk about that at the end of this. But first episodes rarely blow you away, because they set up all the characters for future episodes, so you're getting to know them, and that pretty much what this did, the first episode. Of course, as I said, which is odd, because it's a very serious subject. So I said it's a serial rapist at large, but it sort of had more of a feel, even though of a gritty subject matter, of one of those BBC afternoon quirky detective thrillers that we get on the BBC, you know, they happily watch at lunchtime with a cup of cocoa and a biscuit sort of thing. But there was a little bit of potential. So there was a lot of, you know, obviously the quirkiness was coming through, etc. So there was potential to rise above this in the next 5 episodes, but it wasn't the most gripping, edge of the seat start to the series. Unfortunately, it never did really rise above a level. It sort of was okay. There was plenty of personal things going on with the characters, but there's nothing mind-blowing to sort of distract you from quite simple criminal investigations, if you like. There's nothing overly complicated in these stories, and that again, that's a BBC afternoon feel to it, that BBC crime drama feel to it, and they're all solved quite easily. There's not many suspects each time, so you probably, you know, if you'd like to work these things out, you've probably got 3 or 4 people to think of every series, and there's clues there, etc. So if you like to do that little bit of who done it, then there is an element of that to it. I mean, Miller himself does an okay job. There's nothing wrong with the job he does. I mean, his quirkiness just smacks a little bit of trying too hard to me. I mean, they try and make it too quirky. It doesn't quite always work. And as I said, on the basis that they are just quite simple mysteries, nothing too complicated. We've seen this time and time again, so perhaps we needed that quirkiness, but unfortunately it was nothing. It was certainly not on the level of Sherlock sort of quirkiness, if you like, even like the modern BBC drama Sherlock. And his co-stars, that's the problem as well. They're likeable enough, 2 or 3 of his co-stars. 2 or 3 of his co-stars aren't likeable, but they very, very rarely actually make you really care what is happening in the background. You know, certain co-stars are having problems, but you don't really care that much. It's sort of all about Ben Miller, and it's probably all about his mum as well. I wanted to see more of Frances de la Tour, to be honest with you, because I just liked her screen presence. So unfortunately, she gets very, very little screen time, but if you think of these episodes are about 44 minutes to solve a rape or a murder or a hostage situation, I mean, there isn't much time for much else when you add the scenes of where they're trying to be clever with the detective's Professor T's quirkiness. I haven't seen the Belgian original. As I said, most comparisons are unfavourable, and most people are going for the Belgian original as being excellent. So, again, that's par for the course. Nothing unusual in that. It's nice to see Cambridge. All right, we've had Oxford, haven't we, with Mr. Morse? As I say, another series that, if you like, is probably knocks this into a cocked hat. To be honest with you, the Morse and the Endeavour series are far more interesting and complicated than this without the quirkiness, unless you call Morse quirky, which I suppose he is in a way. But Cambridge is a nice backdrop to the series. But hey, you know, if I had Oxford, we'll have a Cambridge. Yeah, I think, as I said, BBC have slots, don't they, for these crime shows that are a very easy watch. And I believe ITV3 pick up these ITV ones. So yeah, it has more of that ITV mid-afternoon watch for crime dramas than an actual Sunday evening sort of edge. As in, well, Murder in Paradise, you could probably say that, but Murder in Paradise has a little bit of something about it, and I'm afraid this doesn't really rise above the average, to be honest with you, even though it is getting some good scores independently of the episodes, as we saw early on. So my little score, I am going to give it a watchable rating, because it is watchable. But I think many will find the quirkiness annoying. Many will find the slow pace of the stories and the quick solving of them quite annoying as well. So as I said, it's not exactly Sherlock meets Dexter, unfortunately. Which you know, I would have craved something, even a patch on that, even the shades of that. Unfortunately, it misses that by a long way, unfortunately. And my little comment that I've added to this, binge watch or not, well, yeah, I think everything happens so quick in these 44 minute episodes that they're not drawn out at all anyway whatsoever. So yeah, this has to be sort of classed as a binge watch, I think, on a dull Sunday afternoon. It's not a terrible use of your time if you do that. I say, with your cup of cocoa and your biscuits, that'd be fine with someone you quite like or you love or whatever. Just sat there and watch 3 or 4 episodes and then watch another Sunday afternoon or whatever, because probably three's enough in one go. Just that keeps you quiet for 2.5 hours or something like that. Anyway, let me know what you think if you watch this, and if you've watched the original as well and you agree that the original is far better. I may go back and watch an episode of that. It will be subtitles, obviously. I may go and seek that out and see what the differences are and just how much better the Belgian one is supposed to be anyway. Thanks for watching. How are you going to do the rest of the day? Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. So we meet here again on the Film and TV channel, or perhaps have a flit across. Look at my Citizen channel, my football channel. I only ask one thing. That's simple. This is only one thing I don't ask for money. I don't ask for anything special. I just want you, everyone, to stay safe. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.